Back in the early 1900s, bowling wasn't just a game, it was a major social event. In this vintage scene, women dressed in long skirts compete on indoor lanes, showing how the sport was already breaking social barriers. Long before modern entertainment centers, bowling alleys were gathering places where communities came together for fun, competition, and connection. Before railroads connected America, stagecoaches were the lifeline of the frontier. This dramatic scene shows a horse-drawn coach preparing for another long journey across rough and often dangerous terrain. Carrying passengers, mail, and valuable goods, these coaches helped link distant towns and played a vital role in America's westward expansion. Nothing says fall in America quite like a pumpkin festival. Here, giant pumpkins fill the streets as families gather to celebrate the harvest season. Events like these bring together local communities with food, games, and friendly competitions. It's a tradition that reflects America's deep agricultural roots and love for seasonal celebrations. This historic soda fountain captures a familiar scene from mid-20th century America. Young workers served ice cream, milkshakes, and soft drinks in neighborhood diners that became popular social hubs. Long before smartphones and social media, places like this were where friends met, families gathered, and communities built lasting connections over simple treats. This remarkable photograph shows members of the U.S. Coast Guard transporting a lifeboat across land using horsepower. Before modern rescue vehicles, crews relied on determination, teamwork, and simple equipment to respond to maritime emergencies. In harsh weather and difficult conditions, these brave men stood ready to save lives along America's coastlines. Back in the late 1800s, traveling medicine shows rolled into small towns, promising miracle cures for every illness imaginable. Colorful performers entertained crowds with music and comedy before selling bottles of so-called magic tonics. Many of these remedies had little medical value, but clever marketing and showmanship turned them into one of America's most fascinating scams. This enormous maze of cattle pens reveals the heart of America's booming livestock industry. Thousands of animals were gathered, sorted, and traded before being shipped across the country. The scene captures the incredible scale of the meat business, where railroads, ranchers, and workers came together to feed a rapidly growing nation. In Amish communities, building a barn isn't just construction, it's a community celebration. Dozens of neighbors work side by side, raising the entire wooden frame in a single day using teamwork instead of modern machinery. This tradition reflects values of cooperation, faith, and mutual support that have been passed down for generations. This bustling city street offers a glimpse into everyday life in early America, where horse-drawn carriages shared crowded roads with pedestrians dressed in elegant fashion. Long before traffic lights and automobiles took over, these lively streets were powered by horses, commerce, and constant movement, creating the heartbeat of growing urban centers. Long before COVID-19, face masks were already being used during deadly disease outbreaks like the 1918 influenza pandemic. Public health officials encouraged citizens to cover their faces to slow the spread of infection. This historic image reminds us that protective measures and community responsibility have played an important role in fighting epidemics for over a century. Back in the early days of America, Coca-Cola delivery looked a lot different. This vintage truck, loaded with crates and workers, captures a time when products were moved by hand and communities relied on local bottling plants. It's a fascinating glimpse into how one of the world's biggest brands began its journey across small-town America. This historic scene shows uniformed workers standing with their luggage, representing an era when travel and public transportation played a huge role in daily life. Their formal appearance reflects the pride and professionalism that defined American workers during the early 20th century. Inside this busy factory, workers carefully crafted products by hand long before automation took over. Every station required skill, patience, and teamwork. Images like this remind us how America's industrial growth was built by hard-working men and women who kept production moving day after day. This elegant lobby scene captures the style and charm of a bygone era. Dressed in matching uniforms, these women welcomed travelers and guests with professionalism and grace. It's a snapshot of how customer service and hospitality helped shape America's growing travel industry. Here we see a young newspaper boy standing outside a local shop with vintage soda advertisements in the background. In those days, delivering newspapers was a common job for kids looking to earn extra money. It's a simple image that perfectly reflects everyday life in old America. This crowded marketplace was once the center of commerce and trade. People gathered here to buy, sell, and negotiate goods, creating the foundation of local economies. Long before online shopping, places like these brought communities together and fueled business across the country. This group photo celebrates the workers who helped maintain one of America's iconic cable cars. Their teamwork and dedication kept public transportation running smoothly for countless passengers. It's a reminder that behind every famous landmark, there are hard-working people making it all possible. Before modern machinery, massive logs were transported through rivers by skilled workers who balanced on floating timber. It was dangerous and physically demanding work, but it played a major role in building America's growing industries and supplying materials to expanding cities. Long before smartphones and digital networks, telephone operators connected calls manually using switchboards. These women performed an essential job that kept families and businesses connected. Their work laid the foundation for the communication systems we rely on every single day. Before refrigerators became common, people harvested huge blocks of ice during the winter months. Using horses and simple tools, workers cut and transported ice to preserve food throughout the year. It was hard labor, but an essential part of everyday life in early America. If these images touched your heart, please subscribe and join us on this journey through the past.